Hello students, welcome to LearnGuru Classes. So today is a continuation of the last class where we have solved some numericals on irrational numbers. So let's start today's class. Here you are asked to examine whether the following numbers are rational or irrational. So first sum, that is root 2 plus 2 whole square. So this type of sums has a different approach. Okay, so for that let us assume that we consider x equal to root 2 plus 2 whole square. Okay, and x is a rational number. Let us consider rational number. X is a rational number. We don't know whether it is rational or irrational. We have to judge whether this is rational or irrational. Okay, but for now, for time being, we have considered x as a rational number. Okay, now we can write x equal to root over 2 plus 2 whole square, isn't it? So this is of the form as a plus b whole square, and we know a plus b whole square equal to a square plus twice ab plus b square. So a is root 2, so root 2 whole square plus 2 into root 2 is a into root 2 into 2 plus 2 whole square, isn't it? So root 2 square you can write it as 2 plus 4 root 2 plus 4, that is 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 4 root 2. Okay, so you are getting x is equal to 6 plus 4 root 2. Now what we do? We take 6 to the left hand side. So you are getting x minus 6 by 4 equal to root 2. Means we have just separated all the rational number to the left hand side, and we have left the irrational number, that is root 2 alone. Now you tell me, I have considered x as a rational number, right? So x minus 6 by 4, that will also be a rational number, because you are subtracting a rational number with a rational number, and you are dividing a rational number with a rational number or integer. So ultimately it will fetch you a rational number. On the right hand side, what are you getting? You are getting an irrational number. Now you tell me whether a rational number will be equal to irrational number. Can you say? Because rational number characteristics is completely different, or the properties of rational number is completely different from that of irrational number. So how come we say that a rational number is equal to an irrational number? Isn't it? So we cannot, so x has to be an irrational number. Okay, so x has to, so if you are subtracting an irrational number from a rational number, it will give you an irrational number, isn't it? So you are already getting this as an irrational number, right? So x has to be an irrational number for the left hand side, that is root, since root 2 is an irrational number and you are writing this equal to this. So how will you write? Is this clear to you? I think this is clear to you. Again I will tell you, since x minus 6 by 4, since root 2, since x is a rational number, so x minus 6 by 4 is also a rational number, but root 2 is an irrational number. Okay, so x minus 6 by 4 should be irrational irrational, and here I will write and x minus x equal to root over 2 plus 2 whole square will also be an irrational number. Okay, so what we have done here, again I am repeating, we have just, without knowing this is an irrational or rational number, we have just considered abruptly that x is a rational number. Okay, so we have done all the, I have rubbed it here, but we have done all the calculations, a plus b whole square, we have just used the formula, and after that we are getting x minus 6 by 4 equal to root 2. So on the left hand side, since we have considered x as a rational number, so this entire expression is also a rational number. So right hand side contains an irrational number. So rational number can be equal to an irrational number. Okay, so for that x has to be an irrational number. So x, since x is a rational number, x minus 6 by 4 is also a rational number. But root 2 is an irrational number. So it is mandatory for you to write x minus 6 by 4 should also be irrational, which in turn we can write x equal to root 2 plus 2 square will also be an irrational number. I hope this is clear to you. Again we will solve another sum similar to this. Okay, so let's see the question number 2. So question number 2, one expression is given to you, that is 5 plus root 5 into 5 minus root 5. Okay, so here you need previous knowledge of previous algebra knowledge. Okay, so just I am explaining you here. Let us write a equal to 5 and b equal to root 5. Okay, so is it of the form of a plus b into a minus b? You tell me. Yes. So what is the formula for a plus b into a minus b? It is a square minus b square. So straight away you will write what? Here you will write a, you will write 5 square and root 5 is minus b square. So you are getting 25 minus root 5 whole square. So root will get cancelled by 2 and you will be left with 5. So 25 minus 5 is 20. So 20 is a rational number, isn't it? 20 is a rational number. So we can write, therefore 5 plus root 5 into 5 minus root 5 is a rational number. Okay, is a rational number. I hope this sum is clear to you. So let's see the third sum. Six by 2 root 3. So 6 you can write 2 3 just 6, right? So directly you can write 3 by root 3, isn't it? Again 3 I can write it as root over 3 into root over 3 by root 3. Why? Because if I write, suppose root over 3 into root over 3. Okay, so this is 3 to the power of half into 3 to the power of half. If you remove the root, you can replace it by 2 to the power of half. So it is of the form of a to the power of m into a to the power of m, that is a to the power of m plus n. So we can write 3 to the power of half plus half, that is 3. So just you have written 3 in the form of root 3 into root 3. So root 3 gets cancelled. So you are left with root 3. So root 3 is an irrational number. So therefore 6 by 2 root 3 is also an irrational number. Okay, so this is one type of sum. Okay, let's check another type of sum related to irrational numbers. The next sum, you are to identify whether root 45 is a rational number or irrational number. So this is very easy. Okay, so root 45. So to judge for root 45 is an irrational number or a rational number, let us find out the factors of 45. So the factors of 45 are 5 9s are 45, 3 3s are 9. So we can write this as 5 into 3 square. So 3 can be placed out of the root, 3 into root over 5. So 3 is a rational number, root 5 is an irrational number. So the product of a rational number and an irrational number is always an irrational number. Okay, so how will you write? Since 3 is a rational number, root 5 is an irrational number, the product of a rational and an irrational number is always an irrational number. It's always an irrational number. So therefore root 45 is an irrational number. If it comes for 2 marks, then you have to write all these things, and probably it may be asked as a MCQ whether root 45 you tell it is a rational or irrational number. So if you know, if you can break it into factors, okay, if you find the factors of that particular number and identify which is a rational number and which is an irrational number, you can give the correct answer very easily. Okay, so you should not make mistakes of this sort of sums, because irrational numbers basically is very easy compared to your rational numbers. Rational numbers is also easy, but identifying irrational numbers and type of sums that you have in irrational numbers is very easy. Okay, so let's move to another type of sum. The next sum is, you are to prove that root over 3 minus root 2 is an irrational number. Okay, so let us say that x equal to root over 3 minus root over 2. Here to prove this, you are to use the same concept of the first sum that I have done today. Okay, so x equal to root over 3 minus root 2. So it is obvious that this will be an irrational number, because root 3 is a 1.732 something like that, root 2 is 1.414. so you are subtracting an irrational number from an irrational number, so ultimately it will be an irrational number, so that we know according to the property, but you have to prove this. So for that, let us say that let x be a rational number. Okay, we have just assumed that it is a rational number. Okay, so squaring, if I give this as 1, squaring both the sides, we get x square equal to root over 3 minus root over 2 whole square. Okay, so it is of the form of a minus b whole square, where a is equal to root over 3, b is equal to root over 2. So a minus b whole square is what? A square minus twice ab plus b square. So a square is root over 3 whole square minus 2 into root over 3 into root over 2 plus root over 2 whole square. Okay, so is the formula correct? Did you understand this part, how I have used the formula in this particular expression? Yes, it should be clear to you. Okay, so this will be further, we will simplify root 3 whole square. So the root will be removed, square and the half part gets cancelled. So you are getting 3 minus 2 root over 3 into root over 2 is root over 6 plus root over 2 whole square you are getting as 2. So you are getting ultimately x square equal to 5 minus 2 root of 6. Okay. So I will bring 5 to the left hand side. So you will be left with x square minus 5 equal to minus 2 root over 6. So let us take minus common. So minus 5 minus x square equal to minus 2 root over 6. So minus minus will get cancelled. So you will be left with 5 minus x square equal to 2 root of 6. So let's make shift 2 to the left hand side. So you will be left with 2 equal to root 6. So this is the expression that you are getting. Now 5 minus x square by 2. Okay, so 5 minus x square by 2 equal to root 6. So root 6 we already know that it is an irrational number. So since x is a rational number, so 5 is also a rational number, 2 is also a rational number. So since we have considered that x is a rational number, so you are subtracting 5 with x. So it will also give you a rational number, means the entire expression will be a rational number and this root 6 is an irrational number. But how can we say a rational number is equal to an irrational number? We cannot say this to be an rational number is equal to the irrational number. So you have for this equal to, okay, the left hand side should be equal to the right hand side. So since root over 6 is an irrational number, so 5 minus x square by 2 should also be an irrational number. Okay, so it's as it is an irrational number, means what? X, since 5 and 2 are both rational number, so x should be an irrational number, because when you subtract a rational number with an irrational number of different types, you get an irrational number. Okay, so what will you write? So since x is a rational number, so therefore 5 minus x square by 2 is also rational, So since root 6 is an irrational number, so therefore I am writing over here, okay, I am rubbing this and writing over here. So this will also be, so therefore 5 minus x square by 2 will also be an irrational number. So since this is an irrational number, so therefore x square will also be irrational, that is x will also be okay, so x square will also be irrational. So therefore we can say that root over 3 minus root over 2 is an irrational number. So hence proved. Okay. So I think this is clear to you. So I have tried to solve some sort of examples in today's particular class. Okay, so next class we will come up with another set of irrational numbers. Okay, so I can't continue it too long because video will be too long. I cannot continue it further because video will be too long for this. So I have cut it into separate sections. So next class we will come up with another set of numericals from irrational numbers. So if you find this video helpful, please subscribe to LearnGuru Classes, like, comment and share it with your friends and relatives. So thank you so much. Bye bye.